Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Forgetting Sarah Marshall. This is a donation reward. Let me just make absolutely sure here, but I'm sure I know who it's for. I just want to be safe, and I forgot I put these in a separate thing. I have a separate Word document for these now. But yes, this is for Venom0027. Which again, I assumed as much, but just wanted to be safe. Wanted to be sure. So, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I have an interesting story about this film. I've never seen it, but I've seen the spin-off. There's a spin-off of this movie called Get Him to the Greek that stars Russell Brand and I believe Jonah Hill. And I saw it like sometime shortly after it originally came out. And when I first saw it, like, I did not know it was a spin-off of Forgetting Sarah Marshall because I had never really heard much of Forgetting Sarah Marshall or seen it. And once I found when I found that out, well, after I had already seen the movie, I just never ended up getting around to watching the original. Get Him to the Greek was just kind of meh to me. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like anything that great. Russell Brand was Russell Brand. Let's be honest. Like, there's no other way to describe him. Jonah Hill was annoying as usual. I'm not a fan of Jonah Hill. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like him. I've never really liked him. Like, he's been in a couple things I liked. Like, I think he was in Moneyball with Brad Pitt. And I liked Moneyball, but for the most part, he's never really done anything for me. I don't, like, hate him or anything. It's just I've never really liked him either. It's a personal preference. His acting style is not really my kind of thing. It doesn't appeal to me as much. But, I mean, if you want to have me react to movies with him in it, feel free. Because there could still be some other great stuff to see in those films. So that being said, I don't know really what this is about. I think it has something to do with a breakup, which would make sense with the title. But that's about all I know. I don't even know fully who's in this. I assume, since Get Him to the Greek is a spin-off, I assume Russell Brand and Jonah Hill are probably in this. I don't know who the stars are, though. Like, I don't know who the main characters are, who their actors are, all that jazz. As I said, I never really had known about this movie until I found out that Get Him to the Greek was a spin-off of it, and I still don't really know much of anything about it. So, yeah, it's just something I've never really looked into. I think it's a comedy, though. So, hopefully I find it funny. There's that. But yeah, I don't know what else to think about this. So we're just going to get into this and hope for the best. As I do with every movie I react to and everything I react to. So, let's give it a shot. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, that's nearly 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. That was not good. It's been a long time since, I need to look it up exactly how long it's been, but it's been a long time since I watched that original movie, Get Him to the Greek. the spin-off of this. Um, and I remember being, again, just kind of meh on it, just kind of okay. Not really hating it, but not really liking it. Let me see, when did that come out? That came out in 2010. That was 12 years ago. And again, I saw that pretty much right after it had come out. And Forgetting, Sarah Marshall came out 2 years prior in 2008. Um, yeah, I saw Get Him to the Greek. I thought it was very kind of meh and everything. Is it sad that I think it was much better than this? Like, this is one of the few movies I think that I've reacted to on the channel that I actively, like, really actively dislike. Um, and it's like there's a couple things that are like maybe the tiniest bit funny in this, but for a comedy, most of it was actively unfunny. Um, the characters were almost all completely detestable, except for Rachel, I think her name was. I don't even know. Maybe her. Maybe that's what her name is. I mean, um, she's like the only character that wasn't fucked up in some kind of way. And it's like the pacing and cuts in this movie were so frantic and shitty. I don't think I've seen a movie with this bad of pacing before. I noticed when I was about 30 minutes in, I checked the recording timer, I was about 30 minutes in, I felt like I had watched 3 hours of a movie. I'm not even exaggerating. It really, because the frantic cuts and everything made it feel like more was actually happening than it was. I felt like it was just going on and on and on, and I was not enjoying it. And on top of that, the story itself is so fucking stupid. And every story beat it takes, every quote unquote twist it makes, everything is dumb. The characters don't talk like people. That's more on the dialogue aspect of things. The actors aren't really doing well for the most part. The story just, it's clearly meant to be a comedic love story about a dude breaking up with a girl and then getting with another girl, but that's pretty much all you could describe it as, because there's no like real depth to it. There's no real quality to it. And it's like Sarah Marshall's just completely dropped after he denies her mid blowjob. Like after that, it's just like she's just done with the story. Her name's in the title, but like there's no actual conclusion for her. And I get that was probably the point. Like it's like, oh, it's kind of revealed and everything that she's kind of a manipulative bitch and that she's very ethically questionable in terms of how she handles relationships and everything. That's made pretty clear. And it's like, but there's like no resolution to her part of the storyline at all. What happened to her after that? Did she stay in Hawaii? Did she go back? What happened? And maybe I just don't remember the movie that well, but did it explain and get him to the Greek why Jonah Hill's character was with Aldous Snow? Like, because because that seemed to go really poorly in the end here, and it's like, how were they together in that? And unless Jonah Hill's playing a different character, I don't fucking know. Like, there were so many things that were really fucking stupid in this as well. There were some things that were really offensive in this. And it's just like, I didn't like this. Again, I actively did not like this movie. It was just really bad. From the acting, and some of these actors I know can do better. But the acting was bad, the dialogue was terrible, the pacing was absolute shit. It made weird random cuts at points that made no sense and just completely took you out of the scene. It was poorly written, poorly conceptualized. Everything about it was pretty much bad. I don't know what else to say about it. I genuinely don't. Like, when I heard, when he talked about doing the Dracula play and everything, I thought he was making something up. And like, when he got on stage and started doing that, I thought he was ad-libbing off the top of his head because he was put on the spot. Like, he even was acting as if he was, like, as if he didn't have anything actually planned and didn't want to go up there because of that. And then it's revealed that no, this was something he had been working on, and it was real. And that song he had sung to Sarah before and everything. It's like, what the fuck? And then when you see it realized at the end, you actually see part of the play, and it's like, oh my god, this is so fucking bad. Like, all those people clapping at the end, that wouldn't happen. That is so fucking bad. It was terrible. Oh my god. I'm sure there's some people who really like this movie. I'm sure there's some people who think this is funny. Kudos to you. Like, all the power to you for being able to see this as entertainment. You're allowed to enjoy this. You're perfectly allowed to have your views on this and to like this movie. I'm not going to knock you down for that. But god, did I hate this. I was so fucking annoyed watching this movie the entire time. It was so, it just kept going. I kept looking at the clock at the recording timer because I kept thinking it was going to be over because it just felt like it was just dragging me through the dirt on and on. Ugh. I don't know for sure. I cannot say for sure because there's a lot that I would have to actually think about and look into and remember. But this might be at least down there as one of the least favorite movies I've ever reacted to. And it's not even just least favorite, it's like actively dislike. I hate this movie. It is so bad. And it's not even a so bad it's good situation. It's just bad. It is unenjoyable to watch. It was, like I said, that's 2 hours of my life I'm not going to get back. That's how I view this movie. And I want to say here, I want to make it very fucking clear. I am not blaming you, Venom. I am not using this. I'm not attacking you. I'm not using this as an excuse to like rail on you for suggesting this, because you didn't know how I was going to react to this. You didn't know what I was going to think. I wouldn't have known what I was going to think. It's not your fault by any means. That's just how I ended up, what I ended up thinking of the movie. There's nothing really else to it. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not anyone's fault. If you want to blame anyone, blame the movie. But yeah, it's like, this was just, it was not good. But like I said, I'm not blaming you, Venom. If you have any other suggestions you want to make in the future, that's all good still. All good. Don't just take this as a excuse to stop even choosing movies like this or similar, I guess, because you just never know. You never know. Like I've said before, there have been plenty of movies that I would not think I would have liked, but I ended up loving, and vice versa. It's impossible to tell with me. So while I may have hated this movie, don't take that as any kind of sign on what to not suggest or anything for the future. Feel free to just go ham and suggest whatever you want. That's all good. But yeah, it wasn't my movie. It wasn't my thing. Definitely not for me. Also, this movie had a lot more nudity in it than I expected. I don't know what I don't know what I thought, but like, I didn't think this was going to have nudity in it. Maybe I thought this was going to be like PG-13 or something. That really caught me off guard. Although it seemed to be unsure if it wanted to show Jason Segal's dick. It kept like cutting off of it every time it showed it, like within a millisecond. Again, with the frantic, terrible editing and pacing. But yeah, there was dick, there was tits, there was nudity in this. And a few different sex scenes. I don't know. This just... It wasn't for me, clearly. It wasn't for me. But that's just one movie. Not every movie's going to hit it out of the park. Not every movie's going to be a winner. That's just how it goes. That's how media goes. It's all subjective. It's all kind of just on the fly, really. You'll never know until you see it if you're going to like it or not. Even if you think you will. That's not necessarily true. At least for me. But like I said, thank you to Venom for donating for this. I do not like blame you at all. I do not. I do not. How do I put this? I'm still thankful you donated for it and everything. Yeah, it was worth it to check it out, even if I didn't like it, even if I thought it was a bad movie. It was still worth checking out. All movies are worth checking out. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this movie? Did you like it a lot more than I did, or were you as incensed by it as I was? That's probably the wrong word, but I don't give a shit right now. And if you liked it, once again, you're completely fine. That's completely fine. You're allowed to like it. I'm just being an old curmudgeon. I'm 30 years old. I don't get this shit. No, it's not my thing. But like I said, if you like it, that's awesome. I'm glad it has an audience. For now, though, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.